Shalom, Rainicorns. It's Ellie here, and I wanted to intentionally just, like good vibes right now, because obviously the title of this video is not. You click on the video, you're like, what the heck? And so I just want to open up the video with some really, really good vibes. You know what I'm saying? And today is October 28th. 2022, so I just wanted to make sure I open up with good vibes before we just dive into this topic. And I'm going to share my experience that I had with you guys while I was a homeless person. Being homeless is low-key, like, it's just like, it's one of them things. Y'all know we talk about taboo stuff all the time. However, it's like, being homeless is like one of them topics that people are like, I don't know. It's like one of them things. It's one of them things. You already know how it is, bro. So, okay. So while I was a homeless person, like people in the area, they just kind of got to know me. Like they would see me be all in my path. Like they would see me in the area and just like watch me sort of thing. So, like, of course, when I first got over there, it was just like, oh, do you need a ride? They see me carry my bags or whatever. I'd be like, yeah. Then it got to a point of it being like, hey, you need a ride? I've been seeing you walking. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, people are, like, paying attention. So it will be some days where I would get rides from people, and there will be some days where the Most High would literally just have me walking. Whatever distance it was like, you're going to walk for this particular distance, and you're going to fulfill whatever purpose. I was cool whichever way. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, a free ride lit. Oh, okay, cool, no ride. All right, I'm getting my exercise. Whatever the case is, like, whatever it is for today, I don't care. And so, this is, okay. The last week that I was, like, homeless or whatever, first of all, I saw 3 black cats. I was like, yo, I don't know if it was the same cat that I saw 3 times, or 3 different black cats that happen to live in the same area. It's 2:22 on the clock. And it's like so many different things. Like they're cutting trees and stuff and all of that right now. Okay, so anyway, so I saw 3 black cats. I was like, oh, the omen. And so then after that point, right, there was so much roadkill. I was like, yo, I haven't seen this much roadkill. I've been in this area for a minute. And like, I saw, bro, it darn near brought me to tears. Only reason I didn't like cry was because I was in public and I don't like to cry in front of people. And so I'm walking, I see this dead raccoon. I was like, ah, no. And so something told me like, you go help it. And so I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna push it into the woods. Like use my foot, just kick it into the woods and stuff like that. Bro, I'm talking, I did not have on my slides. I did not have on my slides with socks, bruh. I had on tennis shoes. I had on sneakers. My feet fully covered. Not exposed to this animal, right? Bro, the energy I felt from that raccoon, bruh, I was like, damn. Because it's like you're dead. So I didn't think that I'd be able to feel that much from a dead being. And so in that moment, the Most High was like, yeah, that's what's going on right now. The reason you're kicking it, you're going to place it. I don't like the fact that I had to kick it. It's just like I didn't have the right materials to pick it up. But the reason you're pushing it into the woods is so it can properly transition. Because if it sits on the concrete on the road, it's not gonna transition properly. It's just gonna be a messy ass, like gross, like somebody else might run over it, just guts spilled out everywhere. That particular raccoon was still like intact. It just got hit and he was, dead, knocked out. And so I kicked it into the woods so it could properly go where it needs to go, whether another animal is going to eat it or it just decomposes into the soil, whatever the case may be. He was handled. That one was a guy. That was a boy, a male raccoon. Bruh, keep walking up a few yards, fam. And it was another dead raccoon. I was like, bro, what happened here? What happened here? Because I've seen a dead raccoon on the side of the road before. Okay. Then it like, dang, Abba, why you got me around all these dead creatures? He was like, do the same thing with that one. I was like, fam, jeez. That one was a female, and like part of his mouth was gone. Like, it was like they either got hit or something happened to their mouth. They might have got ran over, whereas like, their mouth was messed up. So it was different. It wasn't as pleasant looking as the male raccoon. So I had to kick her to the woods. Nigga, I walk up a few more yards, and it's another dead raccoon. I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you're telling me there are 3 dead raccoons on the same side of the road? Who out here killing raccoons, nigga? Who out here just slaughtering raccoons with a vehicle? Because it's like, they didn't have, like, mauling injuries. They weren't mauled. They weren't attacked by other creatures. Like, they were roadkill. So I'm just like, who out here just grabbing raccoons and putting them on the street and just hitting them hoes? Like, so I'm like, yo, God, why? Why did this happen? And why am I the one? I'm not the Grim Reaper. Basically, I was the Grim Reaper for those animals. I was like, dang, okay, jeez. And so that one was also a female. So I put like, well, I was gonna say 2 and 2. I put 3 and 3 together with the 3 raccoons. That was a polygynous family. It was one dude, and he had his 2 wives. Because the last raccoon lady, her titties was like, the breastfeeding, how animals look when they're breastfeeding. Like, she was laying on her back, and I could see her stomach, and her titties was like, they looked like they still kind of had some milk in them. So it made me really sad. I was like, dang, where are these raccoons' kids at? I know all the kids probably in the woods like, Mom, Dad. And it made me want to cry more. I was like, these kids done lost their parents. Dang. It made me really feel away. I was like, it just started out. I'm just walking, finna go. I think I was on the way to do my laundry. I'm like, I'm just walking, finna do my laundry. And now I'm over here playing Grim Reaper with these raccoons. Goddamn. And then I'm putting everything together because I'm like, okay, it's a male raccoon, it's a female raccoon, another female raccoon. A whole set of parents just died on the side of the road. I didn't know what to make of that whole situation. I was just like, I'm really looking forward to sharing this with the Rainicorns, like, because I'm better able to, like, make more videos now, and so, it's just going to be different, but, like, I was like, what is this? What is this? So, also, that was, like, that one day. Then as time went on one of the last days that I was in that area, it was another animal. It was another dead animal. Actually, hold up. Before I talk about that animal, the same day, I was walking back from doing my laundry, and I saw an injured butterfly. I thought it was dead, so I picked it up. I was going to throw it in the woods. It was injured, but still, I had to throw it in the woods because, like, I picked it up, and he started flapping like crazy, like, ah! And so it was like, but he wasn't able to fly. He only had one working wing. I was like, oh, you finna die anyway, so I had to throw him in the woods. So then after that point, it was like a day or so. Is this nigga really... Okay. And so, yeah. Injured butterfly, had to help him transition too. So then, one of the last days I was in that area, there was this white animal. And I don't know if it was a dog or a large rodent. It could have been a possum. It was a large rodent. I didn't look at it I didn't get a chance to really just, like, analyze it too much, simply because it was, like, the whole thing was interesting. Like, this is what I be talking about. So, like I said, folks would offer me rides if they saw me walking and I, like, had my bags or whatever. And so, I come across this animal, and somebody, at the same time that I'm, like, in the midst of finna kick this animal into the woods, somebody's like, hey, you need a ride? And so I'm like, I see them, I'm like, okay, let me handle this first. Let me handle my father's business first before I entertain this other person. So I kick it into the woods, and I was just like, what's going on here? Like, the whole time I was in the area, it was like, it wasn't this much death. It just wasn't this much death. Because then, in a different, like, in the same area, the same vicinity, But like even closer to the little spot that I had, it was another dead raccoon. And that one was like a small one. And I was just like, fam. So I had to kick him into the woods. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, because God knew. Like, okay, so the way that I move, like, I move with God. Like, we set plans, and then I execute those plans. So I already knew I was going to leave the area. And I was just like, excuse me. So I was just like, is this signifying, like, the death of, like we just entered into Scorpio season, all that. I was just like, is this, like, the death of this cycle or something? The death of this cycle of me being in the situation I'm in? Because I just didn't see that many dead beings the whole time I was there. I was there for a few weeks. I was just like, so you're telling me in the last week I'm here, I see 3 black cats. Then I see, what was that? 3 raccoons, the butterfly, the white animal, then that other raccoon. Then I see 6 dead animals. So, yeah. That was what happened with the dead animals while I was homeless. Sometimes, you know, like sun sign Capricorn. Yeah. Like it's just hard, because it's like, we know that astrology does have a lot to do with our characteristics as beings and stuff like that. It just be creepy sometimes, because I'm just like, hey, love and light, hi, how everybody doing, and that sort of thing. And then I'd be having to handle like the whole shadow aspect of the fact that I'm a Capricorn, which is represented by the Devil card in tarot. And so it's like, Grim Reaper, it's time to go. Angel of Death in this bitch, nigga. Like, it's not the most fun job. It's not. However, it's probably the most important job other than giving life. And I'm a mom too. So that's why it's like, I had so much empathy for the children that lost their parents, the raccoon babies. Because I'm like, they didn't get to just die being old raccoons. All 3 of them died on the side of the road at the same time. So it's like, I'm having to help do a job of helping their spirits transition properly in the nature, in the actual wilderness, instead of being on the side of the road. And at the same, like, it's just the whole concept of life and death, my guy. It was a whole experience. I enjoyed the experience of being a homeless person too. That jump was lit. And it was like that aspect of like ministering to people and they don't know who you are. People were trying to figure out who I was and everything. I was just like, niggas, don't leave me alone. If y'all don't leave me alone. But like, it was fine. It was fine. The only people who knew who I was. Oh, I gotta tell y'all this other experience that I had with the police. But I'm gonna save that for another video. But the only people who knew who I was were like, you know, the police. They were like, we gotta run your ID to make sure you're not a missing person and all that stuff. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Here's my ID. So they were the only people who knew who I was. I gotta tell y'all about that in another video. Like, oh my gosh. The police while you're a homeless person is so funny. Okay, but I'm done. That was a video on the dead animals. Helping spirits to transition. And so, like, with all that being said, right? Sometimes we are put into positions in order to help nature specifically. It's not always like, oh, I gotta help this person. I gotta give to this homeless person. I gotta do this for these kids. I gotta do this for this elderly person. Sometimes we are specifically put into position to help nature. We are specifically put into position by Allah, the Earth Mother Goddess, A-L-A, okay? Her name is spelled A-L-A. We're specifically placed into different positions by Allah, okay? In order to help the earth, in order to help nature herself, okay? So, if you feel like you're not doing something in order to help other people, that's okay. Sometimes what you do is just to help nature itself. People get, I intentionally place myself around people who call themselves high vibrational, and I basically test their vibration in a way. I won't call out a so-called high vibrational person for littering, because what are you doing? What are you actually doing? You call yourself high vibrational, yet you're littering. Even things like smoking cigarettes. Okay, I get it. People have their things that they deal with. However, when you smoke cigarettes specifically, you're not just hurting yourself. You're literally hurting nature. That's like being your own gas can, like having an exhaust system in your own body. We know that driving cars is like a thing, so I prefer to walk anyway instead of driving a car. And so if you're smoking cigarettes, it's like you're a car and polluting the air. And then you're going to throw your cigarette butt on the ground? You're just a walking toxic bin. And you're not even placing the stuff in the bin. In the area I was in, there was a random guy. He literally pulled over his car into the middle lane, poured out some stuff from his cup, and then threw the cup on the ground. I'm a random ass homeless person. He starts driving off. I'm like, why did you do that? I'm yelling, I know you can hear me through your car windows. I'm like, why did you do that? And he still kept driving off. I'm like, you couldn't just hold your cup in your car until you got anywhere with the trash can? I get it. That was a random Matrix person. However, it's like, people who call themselves high vibrational be doing the same thing. How you gonna call yourself a god? How you gonna call yourself a goddess? How you gonna call yourself a child of the Most High if you do stupid stuff like littering? You're hurting the very planet you're trying to save. Hypocritical. Yet, I'm a weirdo for experiencing what I experience and helping dead animals transition, because I take my job actually seriously. I told y'all I was a janitor in the astral realms. My dream state was spent cleaning the atmosphere. And recently, and this download was confirmed by my son, we planted an astral garden. And my son let me know that those trees are now bearing fruit. A lot of you who have kids, you have to listen to your children. If you and your children are sharing the same dreams, y'all are connected in the astral space and you get answers from them. Okay? It's time to take all this way more seriously. This is not fun and games. Even though I'm laughing and having a good time sharing my experience, I wasn't laughing and having a good time while it was happening. That made me very sad to see these dead animals just sitting on the road. And you got, animal patrol, and you got police officers and stuff driving around. They're not helping these animals. They're looking for fake criminals. They're not the real criminals because they work with them. They're looking for fake criminals that they can give tickets. Instead of being like, oh, well, I'm a police officer. I'm here to, preserve and protect and all this stuff. And there's dead animals and roadkill. Let me at least, just push it into the woods. Like, they don't even think like that. Even animal patrol people, like, they're here to catch animals on the side of the road, but they won't get the dead ones off the road. It takes people like us to do it. It's our calling. So make sure you think twice when you see a homeless person and you judge them. Even the ones that you think are on drugs. People always be thinking I'm on drugs. I'm like, okay. Anyway, I'm going to continue helping save humanity because that's my job. Also, if you are planning to move to the Memphis area, or if you live in the Memphis area, I will be assisting those who are intentionally buying farmland. Whether it's a small plot of land or it's a house that has a large plot of land around it, or it's a large plot of land, I can help you with that. So if you go to the link in my description box, or if you go on my Instagram, the link in my bio, click on that, you'll have all the information, okay? I will be moving around. I'm not saying that I'll just be in Memphis to help you with every single thing. I'm saying I can help you throughout the process, okay? That is what I'm saying. I will be honest. I did have a group of people I was working with, and I helped them throughout the process, and it just, I'm only going to be assisting people who want to help themselves at this point, okay? I'm going to just say it like that. All right. And so, yeah, that was my story about being a homeless person and helping dead animals transition into the spirit realm. Okay, Shalom, Rain of Coins. I will see you in the next one. Tawada. And I might post this on my vlog channel too, because this is a great adventure time type of video. I'm kind of moving away from calling it like certain things. I'm moving away from calling it vlogs and calling them adventure time, because, bro, what? Like, that's the type of stuff I experience on a regular basis. So yeah, bye.